Welcome back, everyone, to Lore of the Shadow, where last time the Dour Hats, or whatever they call themselves now, decided that if we ever show up at their door again, they will attack us. Well, I have a feeling that we are going to respond in kind. Right, Spockorth?
Sauron took everything from us, and then he took more.
At my request, Gimli has offered to escort me to Zora's chambers in the heights of the spire. We shall force Voskum to hear my counsel, even if he heeds not a single word of it. Indeed, the stout axes may still be free of the tyrants of Mordor, but Voskman has become one of them, whether he believes it or not. I trust Gimli's axe will keep me from harm, but I would ask that you seek Sversting, Dreary, Noth, and Freki as we storm the spire. If they have not already realized the king's folly, I would have you convince them to abandon the search for the dwarf rings and seek refuge among Durin's folk as Gimli proposed. As for Aeter, he may stand in our way, but he's a dwarf of words and little else. He has always sought to please those in power, and I think that his loyalty now as false as ever it's ever been. If he stands in the way of the king, he must be defeated or exposed as the coward that he is. Go. Gimli and I shall follow you into the spire. Alright, so we're going to find out who Drury, Nath, and Freki, those people that I helped earlier, how do they stand in all of this? Well, Gimli, what do you think? Hold on a moment. You surely saw, as I did, that some among the stout axes seemed unsettled by the king's command and that we be cast out from the spire. What will become of them? Shall they be met now with threats and curses? Perhaps they shall even be unfairly marked as traitors. I can't speak for the king dying, but I would offer the stout axes a new home among my folk. We shall have need of hardy dwarves now that Sauron has fallen. If you find any who still name themselves stout axes in the old taker's horn, aid them and offer them the promise that they shall find refuge in the halls of Durin's folk. Okay, so rescue intimidated stout axes from the Oathbreaker's horn. Okay, I'm gonna dub it the Oathbreaker's horn still on occasion, I guess. Okay, that is 0 and 8 of them I need. Ha! The fire horns may have sealed the hidden gate, but they have left their greatest weakness exposed. Don't you see, Pinelore? The lower gate is now the only passage into and out of the spire, and it leads to the very heart of their forges. Ruin their forges and break their weapons, and I dare say that their search will be over before it begins. If the fire horns discover you, do what you must. When the dour hands treated my folk as the fire horns treat the stout axes now, I did not shy from battle. While you deal with that, I'll escort Spockhorst to the spire. He has a mind to speak with King Greytooth, but I don't think it wise. Oh well, I have my axe if talking won't do. Yeah, I have a feeling talking won't do. Okay, defeat Firehorn Smiths and the Oathtaker's Horn. Defeat weapon racks in the Oathtaker's Horn, and douse forges in, well, I still like to call it the Oathbreaker's Horn. So how about this? Douse forges, destroy weapons, and defeat fire horns. Okie dokie. So we need to go that way, right? It appears there are a couple here who wish to greet me. Are they friendly ones who wish to say hello? They look like guards. They look like they're probably not going to be nice. I better be ready just in case they are upset about my presence. Hello there. Yeah, they don't like me. Well, I suppose that's no real huge surprise. I mean, they did threaten me, right? There you go. Don't threaten me. Now, let's see what I could find around here. Hey, okay, you're not going to reforge my relics or anything like whatever they do these days. I forgot what the relic masters do these days. Things have changed with legendary items since then. Alright, there's the first of these. And we're supposed to be going after some smiths here. And is that a smithy I'm supposed to douse? I'm not too sure how effective that's going to be. But we shall see. It'll cool it by half a degree. Oh well. Steam billowing out of the fires. There you go. That looks like an intimidated one. Oh, you wish to join the fray too? Okay. Well, not good to be you at the moment. Hello? Hey, why don't you come out and be free of these? This is no home of mine. Okay, that's good. That's one less we have to worry about. And that's just the beginning of the work. I wonder if the entire bit about them changing their names to Firehorns was to make it easier for the players to know which ones are going to be friendly and which ones are going to be enemies. I guess that's always a possibility. So that if we see someone that says Dourhand, not Dourhand, I better not call them Dourhands. If I see one that says Stout Axe on it, then I know, okay, they're not going to attack me if I see one with fire horns. It also helps in putting up the list of the names of the enemy mobs and stuff like that for the deed. Is the idea there then that if they have the name Firehorn in them, then they count for certain deeds. I think that just might be it. Okay, that takes care of the forges. Now we must carry on. Like right over here, we have Firehorn Smith versus Intimidated Stout Axe. So, Stout Axe means friendly, Firehorn means foe. There we go. At least that's going to be my assumption. Let's see what this guy has to say. Do you take an offer of freedom? It's no home of mine. Okay, I guess that answers that question. So, let's get on our way. Still destroying weapons on the rack. Actually, there's only one more. Oops. Oh, the Forge Master. You're not going to reforge my legendary item then. Okay. I'll keep that in mind. See if I come back for your services. Okay, here we go. Ooh, mastering the forges. You have destroyed many of the forges, tools, and weapons that are vital to the King Greytooth and the Firehorn's quest to seek the Dwarf Rings. It is possible the Firehorns still possess a great deal of armor and weapons in their stores, but for the moment you have stopped them from forging new equipment. Okay. There we go. Now, I still need to find Zversting. Hold on. What's this? Tools of Persuasion. A rack of newly forged and remarkably cruel tools has been used by the Firehorn Dwarves to extract information from the Order of the Eye regarding the lost Dwarf Rings. And who made these? Well, hold on. I'm sorry, Pine Lord, but my duty is to the king. Oh, Svirsting. Well, I fight you to the death. Do what you must. Regrettably, Svirsting could not turn away from the king. Oh well, let's see. What about Dreary, Nath, and there? They must be upstairs. So, I guess find the ramp and head up in that direction. I suppose that's the only thing that I can do. Oh yes, Relic Master. See, they raised a new Relic Master since I've went around here last time, and oh, they're gonna run out of Relic Masters before I get all the way through here. And I think I'm getting near the stairway, right? Or ramp. Ramp. It's a ramp. Ah! Here we are. The ramp upstairs. And I'm sure up here we will find the others. Dreary, Nath, and I forgot the name of the other one. He's going to attack me just because I couldn't remember the name, right? Oh. Intimidated Stout Axe. Hello. How about freedom? How can that be the king not? How can the king not see? Right. The ring is cursed. Yeah, that seems to be the story of rings very often. Hey, look what happened to Frodo. And he was one of the luckier ones. Whee! Well, now I'm an extra level. Let's see what I can do to them now. Whack! Ah! Here's Dreary. Let's see if I can take care of this warrior before speaking with Dreary. There you go. Whack. That was good timing on the flank. Alright, here we go up there. Hello, Dreary.
We endure, as we always have. That is our way.
It was not supposed to be like this. Those who would not follow Vashkum were slain by Itar and the others, and now all I have are these stones by which to remember them. What have we done? Where is the honor among my people? Whether Monthrief holds any power or not, it has brought greater ruin upon our people than even Sauron could have devised. Gimli spoke true, but the truth came too late to save my kin. I shall join Gimli's folk, but first I must mourn my own. Alright. Then I guess there'll be a couple more for him to mourn as I make my way to the next on our list. We have Nash and Frecky still. Is that Nath over there? Looks like he's tied up against the door. The door that they are nailing shut, or whatever you call adding the type of bar that they're adding. Securing shut. Blockading. Barring. Hello?
We endure as we always have. That is our way.
Firehorns? Bah! These dwarves are no kin of mine. Say what you will of her, at least Zorth never chained us to the doors. You and Gimli have seen much beyond these lands, and if this is what my home has now become, I should like to follow you where you go, and have leave this land behind. I suspect there are a lot of people who would be happy to leave Mordor behind. It is good to be out of these chains, my friend, but I cannot leave just yet, For the honor of my family and my fallen kin, I shall gather what remains of the stout axes and find them a place of rest in the low hills of Dor Amarth. All right, very well. What has become of my kin? These firehorns are no kin of mine. All right, so that just leaves Frecky. Is this Frecky up here? No, it's an intimidated stout axe. Well, we still need to help to gather some of the intimidated stout axes. So before long, we should have a nice group of stout axes. Well, assuming that they're accepted in Erebor or someplace like that. Wherever we bring the stout axe. This would have been such a more interesting quest, I think, that if I were playing a stout axe. But, well, you can't have everything. Oh, do they have... Oh, okay, yeah, there's the provisioner who was mislocated for a little bit. He was too drunk to feel anything, probably. Alright, now, let's see. Is Frecky up there by any chance? Uh-oh. That doesn't look good. Tragically, Frecky appears to have been slain by his own kin. Ah! Another ramp up. Let's see what we can find up here. I'm still looking for Aitor, so maybe he'll come up to his senses. But for now, it looks like we also have an intimidated stout axe that we must help. Whack. Hey, how about freedom rather than this place? This madness has taken my kin. Alright, now let's see. You have done well to free the stout axes of the Oath-Taker's Horn. It is likely that King Voskman Greytooth will lead the Firehorns to ruin in his search for the dwarf rings. Instead, you have offered a few remaining stout axes a new chance to freedom among Durin's folk. Let's just hope that Durin's folk will be accepting of this. Alright, let's see about this up here. Ow. Anything up here? Ooh. Mithril Rot Lockbox. Oh. Oh, hi, Arnor. Come back to steal the king's mithril! King should have killed you! Even as Lickspittle Aitor's eagerness to forsake his allegiances brought his story to an end. Okay. That didn't go well.
Sauron took everything from us, and then he took more.
What should have been a time of joy for my people has instead become a time of great sorrow. Sverstein was a fine dwarf, and I am saddened that he could not be made to see the madness of the king. As for Aitor, he was just as swift to seek Zora's favor. He was naught but a lickspittle, no matter the master. Such behavior does not befit any proud dwarf. Aside from Nath and Dreary, I saw only a handful of my people leave the spire for the western ruins. Poor Frecky should have been among them, but Voskman's petty firehorns raised their axes against him. He has put his own foolish greed before the needs of his folks, and I shall never forgive him for that. Even so, I must speak to him at once. Where is he? Where is he? It was no easy task, but I have brought Spockworth hither unharmed. Where is Voskman? Have not seen him. Yeah. That he has led an army of firehorns into the plains of Dora Marth. Bah! We came all this way to stop his quest, and we haven't stopped a thing. Well, yeah, sorry about that. So, let's see. Do we want agility? How about might? How about will? Will seems to be the thing. It's an onyx ring. Onyxly. We're too late, Pine Lore. I wish that it had not have come to this. These were fine dwarves, and they didn't deserve such a sorry fate. Even after his downfall, Sauron has brought his ruin upon them. The ring twisted Voskman's mind, and now his people share his obsession with wielding its power. Whatever remains of it, that is. Where now has Voskman led them? To ruin, surely, but where in this blasted land does he now search for the dwarf rings? Wait a moment. Zorith kept many notes in her own search for the rings, didn't she? We are here in her chamber, so let us search for them. With all that has happened, I should say that they'll be more of use to us. Okay, so search the papers in Zorith's chambers. Okay. Oh, here's a paper. Okay, using it instead of, well, whether that's an axe, a hammer, or whatever that is, it's being used as a paperweight now. This page lists the names of 7 dwarf rings, but 4 of them are marked with unsettling notes. Well, I hope the unsettling note is that they've been destroyed, which case I don't think would be very, very unsettling, in my opinion. What about this one? This page makes note of the key. This makes note of the Key King Greyhorn board during his imprisonment. Okay. And what about this? What's in this little bit of research? This page makes reference to a passage within Barad-dûr that leads into the Mordath. Yeah. I'm exactly overjoyed with going through passages in Barad-dûr again, if you ask me. This page speaks of a vault within the depths of the black pits of Mordath. Well, if you ask me, they're going to Mordath.
Our fortunes are lost and our people broken.
Let me see those pages. What is this? What? The 4 rings.
Long have we toiled, and for what?
Have you read what I have here? Devoured. What sort of creature could have devoured 4 of the dwarf rings? Surely Sauron would have slain them at once for such an offense. I'd say a 6-letter word starting with the DR. Yes, the key round the king's neck. Sauron gave King Voskman the key and deceived him into believing that the mithril lockbox was all that stood between him and reclaiming Manthri for his folk. It is likely never within, and who can say where it might be now? As Zorith has written, the Order of the Eye has learned much of the Mordath through their expeditions in the deep dungeons of Barad-dûr. I thought that they toiled for the return of the Dark Lord, but this vault that she has written of, this is what must have drawn them to into Barad-dûr. None but the Girzul, the Deathless, may have ever known of such a vault, and what would be kept guarded in within so far beneath the earth. A great abyss has sunken into the Mordath to the north of Barad-dûr, and the Order thinks that it is an omen that Sauron's secrets are to be laid bare for the most loyal of his servants. If these remain any chance of finding Monthrief, King Voskman shall lead the Firehorns into the abyss of Mordath. Patrol the mouth of the abyss and see if King Voskman and his Firehorns have left any signs of their descent. For my part, I shall study more of Zort's research, with Gimli's protection, of course. Once I have finished, I shall send him to meet you at the abyss, and I shall travel far away from this place. Yet far away indeed. Travel to the mouth of the abyss of the Mordor in Dor Amarth. Really? That does not sound like fun. But that is what I'll be doing in the next episode of Lore of the Shadow.